Former Deputy Chief Justice Nancy Barasa and prominent city lawyer Ahmednasir Abdullahi are among those who may have benefited from the 313 million shillings paid to Sirisia MP John Waluke and his company by the National Cereals and Produce Board. Barasa is said to have been paid for legal services, while Abdullahi also received payments in various installments through an account at the First Community Bank. The documents by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission lift the lid on how the fraud was woven together. NTV's Silas Apollo has those details.
Details have now emerged about what investigators said was a complex web used by Sirisia MP John Waluke and his business associates to swindle the government hundreds of millions of shillings. Documents tabled by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission in court show that Waluke, alongside Grace Wahungu and the late controversial businessman Jacob Juma, used the services of prominent lawyers and banks to carry out their activities. Part of this web was former Deputy Chief Justice Nancy Barasa and prominent city lawyer Ahmednasir Abdullahi. Barasa was paid for offering legal services to Erad Supplies, while Abdullahi is said to have received payments in installments, running into tens of millions of shillings through his law firm Ahmednasir and Abdi Kadir and Company Advocates. The first payment of 35 million shillings to Abdullahi is said to have been made to the firm on March 20, 2013. This was followed by another payment of 5 million shillings the next day. The transactions were from the National Cereals and Produce Board's account operated by the KCB Bank and were authorized by Soita and Saende Advocates. In this transaction, Barasa is said to have received 5 million shillings as part of legal fees, while Waluke received 50 million shillings and another 40 million shillings paid to Grace Wahungu. Abdullahi would later receive another 13 million shillings on July 2, 2013 through the same Soita and Saende Advocates and another $24,000, around 2.4 million Kenya shillings on the same day. His firm would later receive another 14,000 shillings the next day. The payments were made from the NCPB's accounts held at the National Bank of Kenya and the Cooperative Bank. The EACC says that while it could not authenticate why the lawyers were paid, the funds were part of the 313 million shillings in payments awarded to Erad Supplies Limited by a tribunal. Waluke, Wahungu and the late businessman Jacob Juma had moved to the tribunal to compel the NCPB to pay them, accusing the board of breaching a contract it had entered with Erad Supplies for the supply of maize for famine relief in 2004. The farm, however, never supplied the maize. Silas Apollo, NTV.